So if you don't mind, let's start with a little bit of background. So as I understand it, structured notes were introduced back in the 80s to manage downside risk. And then buffered annuities, sometimes called registered index-linked annuities, came along in 2010. So tell me, if you don't mind, like how, when, and why did these defined outcome funds come about?
Yeah, you are correct in the assumption in your question, Linda, that defined outcome funds are an evolution from structured notes and perhaps to some extent buffered annuities or RILAs, as they're also colloquially referred to. A defining feature across all these products, notes, RILAs, defined outcome funds, is that they seek to provide a level of definition to the outcome or payoff that an investor may receive at a specific time in the future, like a buffer on the downside or cap on the upside. Now, how buffer notes or buffered RILAs or buffered annuities work is that the payoff is guaranteed by the issuing financial institution, a bank or an insurance company. And this guarantee, can be quite attractive as it takes out the possibility of tracking error. However, it comes at the cost of the investors taking on the credit risk of the issuing entity. So, if the issuer was to default on its obligations, then the investment, even though it's meant to protect the downside, could lose a lot of its value. And while rare, that is exactly what happened when Lehman Brothers, a large issuer of structured notes, one of the largest issuers actually, went under in 2008. The defined outcome funds really have been developed in response to that. And the principle behind these funds is that instead of the outcome or the payout being backed by a guarantee by the word of a financial institution, it is instead backed by securities, specifically option securities. And it's the contractual features embedded in these options that creates the payout. And this style of construction, unique and different from the guaranteed products, can lead to certain advantages for a certain set of investors. The primary one is that it reduces the credit risk.